Please subscribe to Facetv Africa and turn the notification on. Facetv Africa, ẹ jọ̀ọ́, subscribe, hete.
Face TV. Muswobi.
Good morning, my people. Welcome to this broadcast. Today, we're looking at a very important personality in Nigeria, and also when we talk about transport unions in Lagos. He's not a person than MC Oluomo. MC Oluomo is a man to reckon with when we talk about anything that has to do with transportation in Lagos State, and I believe he's moving towards the federal level. We know that his godfather, that is the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he's back, and whatever happens, whatever he does, he's a poster boy when it comes to unionship in Nigeria. There's a current development that has come to our table, and that development has to do with Alhaji Tajudeen Agbede, that is the former president of Nurtw. He's the former president because he is being removed politically, I will say so, by MC Oluomo. This is how it happens. You know that he was suspended, that is MC Oluomo was suspended by Alhaji Tajudeen Agbede, and this suspension led to the rift between the unions, especially in the southwest. It almost affected the southwest because just shortly after MC Oluomo was suspended, the Lagos State governor and some other persons were able to come together to create another union that could replace and conduct the activities of the Nurtw in Lagos. That was the Lagos State Parks and Garages. MC Oluomo was made the chairman of Lagos State Parks and Garages after its creation, inauguration, and inception. So the rift between Barua and MC Oluomo, it is not today. So what is reaching us is that the suspension given on MC Oluomo by Barua has been lifted, and we suspect politics at play at this point in time. Politics in Nigeria is a dirty game, and politics is something that if you really want to be upright and have your integrity intact, do not consider entering into Nigerian politics. Nigerian politics will stain you. Let's look at the trend. Even as at the time Lagos State Parks and Garages came into fruition, came into existence, it created another crisis. We have other unions, we have the Okada unions, we have the Keke Marwa unions. Some persons were made to abide by the rules of the Lagos State Parks and Garages. That is the Nurtw existing in Lagos, because we now had two different transport bodies in Lagos. We had the Nurtw still existing in Lagos, and the Lagos State Parks and Garages having their own operations in Lagos. They had to do a new logo, have a new uniform, and impose some of their taxes. Even before former President Muhammadu Buhari left office, Lagos State Parks and Garages was operating above the Nurtw in Lagos. The structures were being collapsed to fit and suit that of the Lagos State Parks and Garages. So one will ask the question, why would a state body disobey a national body? Don't they have respect for the federal might or federal power? Or don't they have any structure that can look into such issues when you talk of suspending a state chairman and the state chairman rebelling? Or don't they have structures that can maintain, for instance, what Lagos did now? If other states will do it, what would you say of the Nurtw? Or is it just that it's a cosmetic union, a cosmetic agency that just exists on its own, that does not have any federal impact on the states? Or is it because President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is in power, that is why MC Oluomo would have the political might to unseat him? Because what we're reading now is that Barua has been removed. The last time we heard about him, reports about police getting into the National Secretariat in Abuja, arresting him and some of the executives of the Nurtw. After that, we now heard that a new person has been reinstated, that is Agbede, which we believe is the handiwork of MC Oluomo. Well, it is politics. They know how to play their politics. So it's so surprising that how can a state body just challenge a federal body without any repercussions, without any sanctions? It doesn't really impact. Their suspension didn't look as if it impacted on the transport union in Lagos. And we know that transport unions are just money collecting machines. They're just revenue collectors. Somehow, if a governor has jurisdiction over a state, I believe that may want to be the reason why Sanwo-Olu, coupled with MC Oluomo and some other persons, were able to sideline Nurtw's influence in Lagos and had to create their own union so as to maintain the revenue collection in the state. There was an address by the new president of the National Union. His name is Alhaji Tajudeen Agbede. Okay, in his address, he explained that one of the problems created by the former administration of Barua was the arbitrary suspension and expulsion of members he considered to be enemies. He said through this, he destroyed the union, especially in the southwest. Then he now said, so I, Alhaji Tajudeen Agbede, on behalf of other members of our executive leaders and members of our union throughout the country, hereby lift the illegal suspension of our esteemed members throughout the country. You know that this is pure politics from Alhaji Tajudeen Agbede and MC Oluomo. So he now went on to say that he would try to ensure that all state councils of the union currently under the state-owned park and garages committee return back to the NURTW. Look at the direction where this is going. Now, the suspension that has been lifted on MC Oluomo is leading to persuading MC Oluomo to leave. I don't know whether he should collapse the Lagos State Parks and Garages and return back to NURTW, but make Lagos State Parks and Garages a sister agency and return back to NURTW? Or is it that Lagos State Park and Garages was created as a dummy of the NURTW in Lagos State? They created that so as to maintain collection of revenue. What I'm seeing now is that he's about making his way to the national union. He's about playing the politics whereby he will be made the national president, NURTW. That is MC Oluomo. And probably they'll just jettison the Lagos State Parks and Garages. So that's the politics that has been played at this point in time. I pity for Baruwa and co, because a new sheriff is in town, as the president Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and his boys must chop. His boys must be put in positions of power. It will really happen with politicians. If it were Baruwa, I think he would do the same. So I don't blame any of them for what they do, but I think politics that is being played in Africa does not really benefit the people, the common man. When two elephants fight, the grass will suffer. Alhaji Musiliu Akinsanya is needed at the NURTW. They have made their message clear to everyone. NURTW is one big family, and that is where he belongs. From the words of Alhaji Tajudeen Agbede, new president of the union. So now he and his executives are calling and begging MC Oluomo to come back to NURTW. So this is politics at play. And in the few weeks or months, you will see that the National Union chairman of the NURTW will be no other person than Alhaji Musiliu Akinsanya. Thanks for listening to this broadcast.
Please subscribe to Face TV Africa and turn the notification on. Face TV Africa, subscribe, hete.
Face TV. Muswobi.